Today I will do a makeup look from Rani Mukherjee from the movie Mujhse Dosti Karogi. I'm going to start by using this Huda Beauty color corrector in the shade Light Peach. I'm applying it to all the areas that I feel need color correcting. Once I've done applying it, I'm going to take a little fluffy brush and kind of buff it in. After I'm done with the color corrector, I'm going to apply Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer over top of where I put the color corrector. I usually use the shade Sugar Biscuit in Huda Beauty Concealer, but I think this is a different one. I just can't remember the name. I like to let the concealer sit for a few minutes before buffing the edges. Now it's time to apply my foundation. I like to use Huda Beauty Easy Blur Foundation in the shade Custard and apply a little bit on my hand before using a foundation brush to buff it all over my skin. Once that is done, I like to go over the areas of my face that I feel need contouring with Huda Beauty Liquid Contour in the shade Solace. I generally apply liquid contour on my temples, right underneath my cheekbones, and right underneath my jawline, and try to blend it in a figure 3 type of a motion. I also use the same type of contour on my nose. Now I'm going to use the shade number 37 by Yves Saint Laurent from their powdered blush collection. I think the shade is called Coral Clash. I'm going to use my Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette remastered for this look, and I'm going to start with the shade Sandalwood and place it all over my lids and up all the way up to almost where my brow bone ends. This is a light brown shade with just a tiny hint of orange, which is the basis for this look. I have also applied the shade Henna from the same palette on the outer edges of my eyes. Now I'm going to take the shade Moondust and apply it all over both of my lids using my fingers. This is a light champagne shade and it's really nice and sparkly. I like to use my fingers to apply products like this to my lids because I find that it picks up the products better and deposits them right on my lids better. Next, I'm going to go in with 24 Karat, which is an actual gold shade, and put it on the mid to outer ends of both of my lids. Using MAC Cosmetics Color Excess pencil in the shade Black to line my waterline as well as my upper lash line. I took the shade Black Truffle to kind of highlight the outer ends of my eyes as well as smoke it out a little bit. Now I'm going to take my favorite liner, which is NYX Epic Ink Liner in the shade Black, and line my upper lash line with it. I usually do this portion in parts, starting with my mid to outer lash line because it has more product then, and then slowly moving in towards my inner corners because I don't need quite as much product on my inner corners. And it gets a little bit less messy that way. For mascara, I'm going to use Huda Beauty One Coat Wow Mascara, which is a nice deep black shade. I am almost done. All I need to do now is go and apply some lashes, which I'm going to do off camera. I've applied my lashes and now I'm going to apply a lipstick. I could not find the shade that I wanted, so I ended up using MAC Velvet Teddy lipstick, which is not the right color for the look, but I like it, so I kept it. I also applied a bit of clear gloss over top of my lipstick. Now for jewelry. I didn't have the exact same jewelry that she has, so I just kind of looked through what I had and decided to use these pieces. And here is my look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please remember to subscribe as I have many more coming up. Thanks for watching. See you next time.